From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Good to be back in the studio. Jade and I and a bunch of the Ramsey Personalities have been on the road. We were in Salt Lake City last week, returned yesterday from Anaheim from doing an event out in CA in California. And both of you crowds were absolutely incredible. Thank you, guys. You were very welcoming. It was so good to be in both locations and be out in America seeing you guys. And we will never again, after quarantines and stuff, take for granted the ability to gather as a group and cheer on really good ideas. And so we're really excited to be with you guys. And the good news is we will be back on the microphone for a while.
Yes, that's right.
We're not traveling for a while, and so we'll be here saddled into this thing and answering you guys' questions. So thanks for hanging out with us, and for all of the other Ramsey personalities covering the bases while we've been hitting the road. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Lisa's in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Such an honor to talk to you, Dave. Hello, Jade.
How are you?
An honor to speak with you as well. How can we help?
I am doing wonderful. First of all, thank you for telling us the truth.
You got
giving us a path and immense hope that our future can be bright. There are not too many people that are doing that today, so thank you for what you guys do. So here's my question. I'm 60 years old. And I have two retirement-related questions. I'm retiring from my full-time teaching job at the end of this year, from which I will have a monthly pension paid to me for the rest of my life. I have a one-time opportunity to take a partial lump sum maximum withdrawal, which I estimate will be around $148,000. That'll reduce my monthly benefit by about $1,000 a month. My only debt is my house. Right now it's $230K. I'm estimating it to be about $215K by the time I retire at the end of this year. I think, Dave, you would tell me to take the one-time withdrawal and apply it to my mortgage, which would reduce my mortgage to about $105,000 when I retire. My reduced monthly benefit would cover my monthly expenses. Plus, I also currently have two part-time jobs that I will probably keep for a while. So my first question is it the right decision to take the lump sum withdrawal?
Yes, you're right.
That's what I thought you would say.
Here's the thing. You're not going to get a cash flow benefit from this till you finish paying off the mortgage, though.
That is correct.
So you got to knock, because you're reducing your income by $1,000 a month, but you're not increasing your income by reducing your mortgage. Or you're not decreasing your mortgage payment by reducing your mortgage balance until you pay it off. So we got to have a plan for knocking that other 105 out as fast as you can.
Well, my plan was to keep the two part-time jobs that I have now, because my monthly pension will cover all of my expenses. So those other two part-time jobs.
But you're quitting teaching.
That I could still stay aggressive. I am quitting full-time teaching, yes, but I also teach part-time.
Okay. Why are you quitting? It's 60.
Well, this is just my first retirement, Dave. So
why are you retiring at 60?
It's time for me to move on from higher ed.
So you just want a second act.
Okay. Well, listen. Step in and start doing some professorship online and some other things, and make some serious bank, and make as much as you were making teaching for the next 2 years and pay that mortgage off. I don't like part-time jobs when I still got a mortgage. I want you, and you're only 60. Okay. You're just a pup.
I appreciate that, Dave.
Let me ask, can I ask a question in this?
Sure.
So is there any point, if she continues to work full-time, even though if it's not teaching, couldn't she take that lump sum and invest it in better investments?
She could, but we're on baby step 6, and any extra money we get's not going into investments while there's still a mortgage.
That's true.
It's always going to go on the mortgage. So that's why she went there.
I see it.
Correctly went there. But the problem is it doesn't in the short term give you any net benefit until we knock that mortgage out. So what I want to do somehow is gear up your income and your focused intensity, not crazy intensity, but let's get that 105 done, because then you're going to not have a mortgage because of this move, and that's going to increase your net situation by more than $1,000. Agreed?
Absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where we want to go. That's what we got to get to for this to have a net effect overall. Because the 148 thrown at the mortgage without paying it off does not change the mortgage payment.
That's right.
And so that's we got to get to that other part of it. And it sounds like you're just done with whatever you're doing emotionally. That's cool. I got no issue with that. But there's people making bank as online professors, and you control your own time.
That is true.
Really good money. I mean, you can maybe more than you're making now. I don't know what you're making, but maybe more than you're making now. Ann's in Las Vegas. Hey, Ann, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Yeah, hi, thanks for having me. So basically, my husband and I purchased a house. It's 33% of our total income, and we have about $84,000 in debt. Now, we got into the Dave Ramsey Show at this point because obviously that was pretty stupid. And now I'm nervous because I'm wondering if we should try to get rid of the house, but he says we shouldn't.
If you can turn the corner without getting rid of the house, I'll probably keep the house. Go ahead.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say how likely is it that you can increase your income by 8% and close that gap?
Well, right now I am in the process of getting a job. So hopefully if that goes through, I'll find out today, and that will help out a lot.
So you're not working, and you're going to add how much income?
Well, I'm retired military, so right now I make 34, but with the job I'm trying to get, I'll make almost 80.
Oh.
More? So you're going to increase your household income $80,000?
About $40,000.
Oh, so you got 40 in retirement from military?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to increase your household income, the 33% problem, by $40,000, right? Mm-hmm. Keep the house.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, but here's the deal.
Cool.
You're looking in the rearview mirror. You got $84,000 worth of stupid, and you've got a decision on buying a house you couldn't afford. So this has got to stop. We have to turn around and go the other direction, right?
Yeah.
Like the worm has turned. You guys are going to get freaking serious now. You're going to sell so much stuff the kids think they're next.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And no going out to eat, Ann. You have $84,000 worth of debt. Oh, and you don't need to go on vacation. Broke people don't go on vacation. So let's get the 84 cleaned up. Is this okay? Am I okay with you?
Yeah, that's perfect. We're using every dollar now. We're going through FPU. So yeah, we're trying to get it together.
Okay, you got your act going. Okay, because I can sense a turnaround, but I wanted to enhance it. As I don't want just to increase your income 40, keep the house, and then sit on our
right.
Sit on this. It's not going to work. So yeah, that won't go. This is the Ramsey Show. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions of your life. You need a partner like Churchill Mortgage. Churchill is one of the highest rated lenders in the country, and they're Ramsey trusted because they do what's right for you. Churchill works with you to build a mortgage the Ramsey way, one that doesn't bust your budget, sets you up for financial success, and helps you get out of debt faster. Go to churchillmortgage.com today and get started. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Chris is with us in Atlanta. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call. So just a little bit of background. I'm 42. I am debt-free, house and all. And I haven't been debt-free all my life, probably the last 15 years. But I feel guilty every time I spend money. We have 401k savings. We invest money. I still work. My wife still works. But it pains me to spend anything over $100 sometimes. So I was wondering if you could tell me, do you still feel that even after 30 years of being debt-free or whatnot? Because I feel it. Our house is paid off. We have no payments, and I still get that clenching in my stomach every time we have to go do anything. I can't relax and have fun. So I was wondering if you could tell me maybe how you feel, or if you felt the same way after you got out of debt and built a bunch of wealth.
It's not guilt, it's fear.
That makes sense.
And what that is as Dr. John Deloney would say, your body is remembering being broke. And it's telling you that your spending is a threat. It's a threat. It's a threat. It's a threat. And so your fear activates. That's what happened to me anyway.
Even 10 years after you got debt-free?
Not 10 years, but for a while it did. And I what I did is just what you've done. I just recognized it was happening, and I kind of, like you're doing, I started asking the question, what the flip's going on? I mean, what's wrong with you? You got $1 million. What are you pissing and moaning about going to the grocery store for? You know?
Oh, it drives my wife crazy.
I mean, that was me talking to me, not you, okay? But I'm just saying, I had to kind of go, okay, and again, I'll channel my inner Deloney, God help us. But but the
you're doing good.
But the thing I had to do two things. One is I had to say, all right, facts are my friends. Okay, so what is your net worth, Chris?
I would say probably 2.2.
And you're 42 years old, and you're 100% debt free, and your household income is what?
Around 275.
Okay. So let's just be realistic for a second. If we took $200,000 in $100 bills out of your net worth and put it in the fireplace and burned it, he's now got cold sweats, Jade.
I know he does.
If we did that, your life is not going to change 1%. Really?
Possibly.
That's a fact. No, that's a fact. Other than the nervous breakdown that you would have. But I'm just saying, but you know what I'm saying? Mathematically, are you as okay with 2 million as you are with 2.2? You are. Yeah. We know that to be true. That is a fact. Right. It's a fact. Right. So when you go and go on a nice vacation and drop 10 grand for your poor wife who's put up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I just did that and I had a nervous breakdown.
I know. But the reason is you're acting like your fear mechanism is activating as if you're broke, and the facts tell us that is a false signal.
And can I take it one further, Chris? Because I kind of relate to some of what you're saying. On Sam and I's journey through this debt-free journey and then some, I've had to go, there's been certain moments that I've had to go back and find where that emotion is coming from. Mm-hmm. And I've had to think back on what was the instance where that was ignited. Like, okay, it was when I asked for lunch money and someone blew up on me, right? Or it was because I did this, and that was the first time that triggered that.
And there was a phrase you heard.
Yes.
I love it.
We ain't got no money. That was the phrase I heard growing up, Chris. And there's been so many times in my life I've had to go back and find where that came from and speak to it directly and go, hey, if I buy this pair of tennis shoes right now, it's not going to break the budget. No one's going to yell at me. No one's going to, and I've had to go back and say that if I buy what I would like to have for lunch at the grocery store, there's no guilt there. I'm not going to throw the budget off. The family's not going to pay for it. I've had to say that. And I think sometimes my guess is that there's some things that have happened that have caused some trigger in you, and you got to go back and identify that and honestly speak directly to it and say, hey, I'm not there anymore.
And I'll tell you this. Another place we've dealt with this, Chris, was once I kind of started getting past it, the fear, it's not fear, it's sheer terror that my wife Sharon felt when we went bankrupt and lost everything, and we had a brand new baby and a toddler, and the lights got cut off. If I even have a similar body language or tone 30 years later towards spending like the emergency fund, and it activates that, it triggers that inside of her, we have to just time out and back up, because she has to start breathing again. Because she feels like I'm doing what I did when I went broke for just a nanosecond, and it activates, and all of these lights light up in her her physical body changes. I mean, she gets pissed off from being really terrified again, and it just doesn't.
That's how I am.
Yeah, and it activates all. Fear and anger are best friends. They run around together, and so.
It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, it is. It is. But here's the point. Okay, number one, facts are your friends. All you got to do is when you start doing that, you just have to stop and go, now wait a minute, that's not real. This is fear that's called false evidence appearing real. This is a falsehood. Us spending this money is not irresponsible, and it's not going to break our family. And you just have to talk to yourself and build the muscle then of doing that. The other thing you can do is you have a very specific process put in place and go, okay, like for instance, Sharon and I, we do not spend or give more than $1,000 without talking to each other. And if it's more than $1,000, we wait overnight also. We breathe. Now, do we have to do that mathematically today? Absolutely not. We got all kinds of margin. But we do it as an act of respect to each other to keep from activating those scars, those wounds from having gone broke. And, it was the first 5 years after going broke for me. And even today, I'm telling you that we still, if we don't abide by some certain processes that are safety valves, then we can still step back over that line. And they're emotional processes. They're not mathematical processes. Because again, we could give away, we could take X number of dollars and put it in the middle of the floor and burn it, and it wouldn't affect our lives. We've got the money. It's not, that's not the issue. So mathematically, it's not the problem. But the action, the body language, the tone, the process used seems impulsive, irresponsible, out of control, immature, and it feels like the old days.
That's right.
And boy, it'll light your butt up.
It will. It's just another component to when we say money is, it's behavioral, and it's behavioral in the moment, but it's also taking into account the behaviors you did beforehand, and you feel that, and you're still connected to those. And so when you get in a moment where you're like, why am I freaking out right now? When I know for Sam, if the bank account used to hit a certain number, he'd start being like, okay, we got to go do something. And that's the way it is. We can't act like these things didn't have an effect on us mentally, and that behavior didn't affect us, because it does.
Now, I am much more healed 30 years ago than I was 30 months after the bankruptcy.
Yes.
30 years later versus 30 months later. And so you should go through a healing process, but it's also just wise to acknowledge what's really going on here. And then number one, we're going to say, oh, that's not real. Number two, you look at the actual ratios and go, okay, we're not being irresponsible. So why am I feeling, and then you learn you practice your way through normal feelings versus wounded feelings. This is The Ramsey Show. We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Guys, there's some weird stuff going on out there in the work world, in the labor market, and it is crushing particularly small business owners. They have had to deal with the great resignation, quiet quitting, and a lack of people signing up that are skilled workers for jobs. And they can't get their work done because they can't get the help they need. It's been relentless. These participation trophies and helicopter parents are making snowflakes at a record rate. And it's a problem. It's a real problem. Now, I got to tell you, Gen Z and millennials, we love those generations. We got a bunch of them here. They're absolutely incredible. And there's some of them that are useless. Now, the ones that are useless aren't here. We don't let them work here. But the ones that are awesome are absolutely amazing. We got a bunch of them on this team. So to put this chaos in perspective, political economist Nicholas Eberstadt found that 7 million able-bodied males have just left the workforce. They're just not looking for work. They're not in the unemployment statistics. They're living in their mother's basement, their girlfriend's house, or their wife is working and they are just not choosing to work. This is insane. It's not good for them. It's not good for the economy. Business owners need to know how to make it to the other side of this mess. So tonight, Thursday, May the 4th, yes, I know, it's Star Wars Day, I'm teaming up with Micro and 5 best-selling authors and experts for our America's Labor Crisis live stream. We'll be doing the live stream from the Ramsey Event Center here this evening. Micro has came back with us from L.A. when we were out there yesterday, and I've had the blessing of spending a lot of time with Mike lately, and I really think the world of this guy. We're going to talk about work ethic, and we're going to talk about how to hire in these situations, and we're going to talk about how to lead properly so that you attract the right kind of people, and we're going to bring in all these experts of what's really going on, because there's some very interesting dynamics in the marketplace right now. So if you are in business or want to be in business and you want to learn about this labor crisis that's going on, it's a free live stream tonight. RamseySolutions.com/labor crisis. It'll be right on the front page of the website at RamseySolutions.com. And boom, you can sign up, watch it. Starts at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we would absolutely love to have you. So, Jade, the Department of Education has issued guidance to student loan companies to begin collecting payments in September.
So, you mean these people really want their money back?
And you mean the president's actually going to let them do it? He's announced that he's running for re-election.
I know.
Now he's going to make you pay your student loans.
Is he, though? Do you think he's going to try to kick the can down the road one more time?
No.
You think this is it?
I don't think the Department of Education would have put this notice out if they weren't going to do it, because they've not done this in the future.
That's true. That is a very good point.
All of the other deadlines that were approaching, they were silent.
That's true.
And he kicked the can. And this time, I think he's going to do it. Now, I have to have an alternate theory, and that would be, okay, so when we get up closer to election, it's going to come up that he didn't really forgive the student loans.
Of course.
Unless he does something again. So expect another announcement during the election year. but also expect to start paying your payments again in September.
That's true. And I can't help but think about the effect of this on folks, because I think the average student loan payment is about $480. Mm-hmm. And people have gotten, I mean, it's been 3 years. People have gotten so used to
3 years.
3 years. That's unbelievable. That's crazy. And people have, I mean, this is your lifestyle now. People bought houses based off of
that they don't have their student loan payments.
Yes. And they bought cars, Dave.
Based on they don't have their student loan payments.
They traded in that $480 student loan payment for a car note for $480.
Yeah, but don't waste a good crisis, because we had a quarantine that was in our area was about 30 days.
Yeah.
And but we got 3 good years out of it.
3 years. So I wonder.
Don't waste a crisis.
I just wonder, Dave, when those payments hit, August 31st is supposed to be that magic date. And I just wonder how this is going to affect people's financial world. I mean, think about it. People overspent like crazy on homes.
Here's the other thing. From a political standpoint, you got to think about this. You can't wait until just before the election to do this. If he does it now, they're going to be pissed off at him.
That's what I'm saying.
But they will forget about it by November next.
Yeah, that's true. So if
people have the attention span of a gnat. They don't remember. They can't stay pissed off for a whole year.
Yeah.
And so 14 months.
That's true.
So that it's really, I mean, you have to know that these are political animals, and these political animals function 100% of the time on instinct, and the instinct is politics. It is not reality.
They may or may not forget. They may forget. It depends on the outcome.
They'll forget.
Because if this causes folks to have to change their lifestyle,
well,
they might still be bitter.
They'll forget. They'll forget. Because they can't. I'm telling you, it's.
You're right, though. I mean, you're right. People do forget quickly.
Yeah.
I mean.
So the White House announced last November that federal student loan payments would resume 60 days after the Education Department is allowed to initiate its student loan forgiveness plan, or after the Supreme Court litigation is resolved, whichever comes first. In February, the Supreme Court heard arguments against President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, and they're expected to issue a ruling in late June or early July. And so basically they've given him a tip of the hat and said, we are not going to rule in your favor.
That's what it is.
And so July plus 60, there it is.
Yeah, July plus 60. Wow. It's an omen.
What's activating it is the Supreme Court thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's going to lose, and he knows it.
And they're being kind by giving him this forewarning.
Yes. Well, they weren't supposed to do that, but they do that. Yeah, so now
this is your warning to get your budding gear.
Well, I mean, why did you need
ready
a warning?
For this?
Did you think it was going to go away?
Dave, people thought wrong.
I know. They didn't think.
They thought
thinking is a lost art form. Sebastian is with us. Sebastian's in West Palm Beach. Hey, Sebastian, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, Jade. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet.
So my question is, I bought a house last year, August. I'm a software engineer. At that time, we were working hybrid, where we go to the office twice a month, so once every 2 weeks. And I was looking to buy a house, and everything in my area was just out of my budget, or everything that was in my budget. Me and my wife didn't think it was appropriate for us. So we bought a house about an hour and a half away from my office, and I figured that drive is doable once every 2 weeks. Fast forward almost a year now, and now my job is basically saying we're still hybrid, but we're going to need to come into the office twice a week. And what I'm trying to figure out is, I mean, I guess that drive is a little doable, but I've been wondering if it's a good idea to maybe rent my house out and buy something else closer to my office.
Why would you rent the house out? Why would you not just sell it and purchase a new house closer to where you're living?
Working.
I've thought about that. Yeah, so I've thought about that. Me and my wife love the house. And she doesn't want to give it up for nothing in the world. But
you wouldn't be living in it.
So our plan would be to rent it out.
I know, but you're putting renters in a house you love. This is not something you do to things you love.
Okay.
She may love the house. I mean, I get that she loves the house, but you guys are trying to solve a problem. And sometimes when you're trying to solve a problem, you've got to make a sacrifice. And that's really what it boils down to.
What about changing jobs?
So, I mean, I wouldn't change my career, but maybe to a different company.
Yeah, that's close to where you live.
I could probably, as a software engineer, there's probably, where I'm at now, it's not a big market for it. You would have to go more closer to the bigger cities, or unless I go remote, because I've thought about that idea as well. It's just for the tech industry right now, it's a little bit tough.
No, it's not. No, it's not. There's a shortage of software engineers. I got 3 on the books to hire right now. Move to Tennessee. Work for us. We need you. Oh my gosh. There's not a shortage. There might be a shortage of remotes. Remotes dying quickly. No pun intended. But yeah, I would sell my house and move closer to work, or I would change jobs. I would not keep it as a rental. Bad plan.
Bad plan.
This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. If you're new to Ramsey, and a bunch of you are, we know that based on our ratings increases recently, our increased following on social media, and of course the podcast rankings are going through the roof. Thank you, guys. If you're brand new and you were trying to figure out what it is we're speaking here around here, because we do kind of use a different language, vernacular, then just go to RamseySolutions.com, click on the Get Started button, completely free. No salesman will call, and we'll help you figure out where you are and start teaching you and giving you some direction on things like baby steps and debt snowballs and all those kinds of things. And so be sure and check all that out. Jennifer is with us in Detroit, Michigan. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hello. Thanks for having me on.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I'm looking for your opinion. I'm new at this. Baby steps, I guess you would say. I am 60 years old, divorced. I co-care for my mother who has dementia. But I have $600K in a professionally managed retirement account. I own my own home outright. I own 2 rental homes outright, and I own a development lot in a golf course community that I'm going to sell to a developer. What I'm wondering is how I grow my wealth. Do I put my money from this land that I'm going to sell into a professionally managed account, or do I put it back into real estate?
Wow. You've done such a good job.
Well,
I think you're probably a whole lot better than you think you are.
Right?
Everything you told me was wisdom.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. I just need to make it last for my life. So
yeah, you're fine. You're going to be okay. You're going to be just fine. What's your home worth?
It's about $1 million.
And what are the other pieces of real estate worth?
Let's see. Total, I have 2 rental properties that are probably $1.2 million total. The lot that I own is $1 million plus.
So you have almost a $4 million net worth.
Yeah.
You're 60 years old.
Yeah.
I think you need to be teaching the classes, not answering the question, asking questions. Well done. So let me tell you what you have done so far. Okay. So far, you have kept your investment portfolio very, very clean and in things that you felt comfortable with and understood. Real estate and managed accounts. That's where all your wealth is. Paid for real estate, I might add. Okay?
Right.
So why don't we just do that?
Okay.
I mean, you're $4 million net worth at 60 years old. Nobody can argue with your results.
Well, that's good to hear.
I mean, you didn't do it in the last 6 months in crypto and then lose it 4 months later, right?
No.
No, you're not. You don't live in Stupidville. I mean, so
Absolutely. I would be the one asking you questions. Jennifer, you've done such a great job.
yeah, I think you sell the lot because you're going to. There's no question about that. And you don't want necessarily $1 million tied up in a single building lot that's not creating an income. And you're going to buy some income-producing properties, or you're going to put it into managed accounts. Or you could do both. You could buy a $500,000 income-producing property and $500,000 into a managed account.
Okay.
That'd be okay.
All right.
So
Well,
do you like the real estate rentals?
It's okay. I mean, of course, rentals are a lot of work and finding the right people and so forth. And so, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I do it because I need to. So
Yeah, well, it's if you don't manage it well, it doesn't produce. But when you go through the extra hassle that you don't have with the managed accounts, you make more money on the real estate than you do on the managed accounts, but you have more time invested. Agreed?
right, and I only have a couple, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
it's not like
exactly.
I have a lot. So maybe half and half then.
Or I don't care if you had answered the question and said, I love real estate. I think real estate's the place to be. It gets me excited. I'm going to go buy $1 million. I'm going to go buy a little small strip center, and that's in a nice area that's going to be easy to rent to some retailers, and I'm going to make some money that way, have a different kind of rental property, and because I love real estate. That would be an okay answer. Or I want to buy 2 more houses or 3 more houses. That'd be an okay answer. Or I hate dealing with renters. These 2 are about all I want, and so I'm going to dump it all into managed funds. All of these are good answers.
Okay.
It's what do you want to do?
Then,
but here's what you did. I want you to hear it loud and clear. You kept it simple.
Okay.
And you didn't put money in things unless you understood them, and you've avoided fear, and you've had a lot of peace.
Well, I've had a little fear, but that's okay.
But I mean, by and large, you haven't had a lot to be afraid about. You don't have debt.
Yeah.
You've got a big pile of money. You're 60 years old. I think you're highly successful. I think you did unless you got divorced 6 months ago and your ex-husband did all this, I'm very impressed.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I think you did a great job, and I would just do more
good.
of what you have done. And by the way, this is normative for those of you out here listening. When we study millionaires, what do? They're pretty boring.
Yeah. Yep. Paid for home, retirement accounts,
money invested in
cash
managed
real
accounts.
estate.
They're not doing double backflip family limited partnerships that somebody heard about on midnight cable or Tic Tac. We're not getting our financial advice from the Chinese social media channel. Oh my God!
You don't think she rented out bought a quadplex and lives in the kitchen and
she's not $57 million in debt and thinks it's sexy. No, she's not. She's brilliant, very wise,
very cool.
Very calm. But here's the thing. When I have talked to, we used to do an event called Wealth something. I can't think what it's called now. But when I was talking to these wealthy people that came to this thing, they all felt like that they should be doing something more complicated. Mm-hmm. And yet all of them are sitting there with $2, $5, $10 million net worths. and the stuff they're doing is working. And it's the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Well,
man, I learned from that. I don't do anything. I buy real estate. I do the same thing she does. I buy real estate that's paid for as an investment. I increase my generosity factor.
Yeah.
And I invest in mutual funds.
Well,
and that's really all I do.
The infomercials make you think there's a secret. It's the secret that's only
society.
For the wealthy.
When you come from an area that a group of people that doesn't have money, then you hear all the mythology about rich people,
right.
All the theories from poor people about rich people.
That's right. That's right.
And it's like unicorns and Skittles and rainbows and stuff that people like us don't understand. And so when people like us actually get there, then we think we did something wrong.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it's just not true. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. So keep it simple. Stupid is a great rule. That's for me. I use it for me. And, put money only in things you understand and that you have peace about, and be playing long ball. Never, we're not trying to get rich quick. We're thinking about 10 years out, 20 years out, 30 years out, which is why she's bailing on that lot.
Yeah.
She thinks that lot has peaked.
That's
and
right.
she's probably right.
I would have loved to have interviewed her just a little bit further to find out a little bit more exactly how she did this and the time frames and all of that.
Well, she mentioned she was divorced, so I don't know when that occurred, but at some point she got a lump sum and a broken heart.
That's right.
And in the middle of those scars and tears had to be wise.
That's right.
And fear. Had to be wise. And something led her up this path that is a really, really good path. This is not a caller we can take credit for their results because she had not followed us.
Yeah.
She's new to our stuff. So, but she's followed common sense, which is what we talk about every day.
Same thing we
here.
teach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very, very
cool
well done.
stuff.
Very impressive. Very impressive. So this is like when someone gets a big life insurance check after their spouse dies. It's the same thing. I want you to, I want that fear, that broken heart to motivate you to go slowly.
Yeah.
And to make good, wise, careful decisions. Same kind of a thing there. And man, she just did a great job with that. Just amazing. Very, very cool. I love it. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books.
What's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us, America. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. And Chris starts this hour in Boston. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Great. How's it going, Dave?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Hey, so really appreciate you taking my call. Over the last 4 years, I entered a job wherein I was able to make commission checks and save up quite a nice bit of money. And I just am looking to get your advice, having recently started your program, and see what I should do with the money I have and any future money that I get.
So are you setting aside, I'm guessing this is 1099 type money?
No, so I work in enterprise sales.
Oh, okay.
I get commissions that get taxed at 35%, and I take home the 65%.
So are you on a budget?
I am not on a budget per se. I have my 3 to 6 month emergency fund already done, so I have $15K set aside, and I currently have $60,000 in my savings account, and I'm expecting $150,000 in July from a deal that I just closed.
Very good. So, are you renting? Are you interested in purchasing a house? Let's think about what the next steps are.
Absolutely. So I'm renting. I definitely am looking in the next year or so to start getting into the housing market. And the only debt that I currently have outside of that potential mortgage is $38,000 in student loans.
Okay.
And I know that I need to wipe that out.
Yeah. You could do that with the $60K that's sitting around, the extra $60K. You could do that today.
Yeah. Yep, I know.
Not could, will, right?
Chris, the nervous laugh makes me cringe. Don't be nervous laughter. You have $60,000. Write a check today and pay off your student loans.
Get it done.
Do it right now. Right now.
They're not going to get forgiven.
Sally Mae is not a pet. She's an evil woman.
Facts. And this is real. It's not going to get forgiven. Pay it off and then
move on with your life.
Move on with your life, and then let's start thinking about.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
You've done a really good job, Chris. Okay. What would you say the probability is that you are married in the next 24 to 36 months?
I would say it's on a lower end.
Okay. All right. So there's not like a thing in the offing that I'm not talking about yet. Okay. All right. Cool. In that case, buy a house. Now, What I would tell you is buy a home as a single guy at your age that is not a specialty home. Mm-hmm. Buy a home that's a little bit vanilla, boring, easy to resell, because if you were to get married, you will discover you have bought the wrong home.
Okay.
She's going to make you move.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly with Dave's advice. Don't buy, this perfect home that you think it's great, that you're thinking, oh, one of these days I'll marry a lady and it's going to be our family home.
No, not going to work.
He's exactly right. Whoever you marry, she's going to go, this is nice. Let's do something else.
Exactly. If you can resell it easily, you'll make a lot of money on it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want you to buy for your first one here in your stage of life, in your current demographic and everything. That's what I would do if I were your age. But you're doing great, man. The obvious thing is you're making a lot of money and you've not been crazy with it. So pay off your student loan, have your emergency fund, earmark everything beyond 3 to 6 months of expenses for your down payment, pile up a huge down payment. Don't take out more than a 15-year fixed where the payment is more than a fourth of your take-home pay, and buy something that's a little bit vanilla, not too fancy schmancy, and that's going to be easy to resell. It's going to have a large market when you get ready to resell it. A lot of people are going to want this property, which will make it go up faster and be easier to sell. Both. That's what the summation of this call is. So very, very well done. Wow, he did good.
He did do good. He's got a lot of money coming in, a lot of cash money.
Serious bucks.
Yeah, I'm not mad
hey,
at
guys, we appreciate all of you listening. Thank you. We do not have $300 million a year to spend on advertising around here. We don't have a football stadium named after us.
Who did that?
SoFi. Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, and so you got to help us. If you want to help us, you spread the word. You subscribe to the show. You follow the show on YouTube or podcast. You share the show on YouTube podcast, or share that you're listening to it on talk radio or watching it on TBN, whatever it is, share. Spread the word. And if you're in a situation where you can, leave a 5-star review. We don't need 1 star. As Mama said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Okay, move on. If you hate us, what the devil are you doing listening? That's weird. It's just weird. So move on, because it's not going to change. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
Your 1-star review is not going to change anything. So move on. Do your 5 stars. Turn them in. Follow. Let everybody know we're out here. It's really, really helpful. We really, 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 really appreciate it. Now, here's the thing, Jade. Let's talk about real estate for just a second.
Sure.
Buying real estate over the scope of your life with a long-term view when you are not broke anymore is a good plan. People in our culture have translated that and truncated that to say that no matter what stage of life you're in, no matter how broke you are, everyone should immediately go out and buy real estate. That is not true. Real estate for broke people is a curse.
Yeah, it changes a blessing to a burden. And what's the whole point?
Buying a home when you have a big student loan debt, when you got car payments coming out your ears, when you're spending like you're in Congress, you got MasterCard and American Distress in your life, and you got all this crap going on, and then you go buy a house like that's like having a bad marriage and thinking you're going to have kids is going to fix it.
Exactly. Well, yeah, it's not the solution, and it just creates less and less margin and less room for anything to go wrong. Because when you do that, if one thing goes wrong, Dave, just a little bink.
When.
Yeah.
Not if.
Yeah, that's true. When.
That one thing goes wrong. Welcome to life, boys and girls. Crap's going to happen. There's a bumper sticker to that effect, I think. So, really, it's going to happen. And so if you don't have any margin, the hot water heater goes out, all of a sudden you're having to choose between hot water and Sally Mae.
Horrible.
Bad choice. And so you put yourself in the corner because everybody's got to get real estate. Everybody's got to get real estate. No, you don't. Get yourself out of debt. Have an emergency fund. Have a good down payment. Be steady on the job. Smooth rhythm here. Not herky-jerky. Not all over the place. Very calm. It's okay if it takes a little while.
Right.
It's okay. Now, you don't want to be a renter your entire life, so make the steps to get to being not broke anymore.
Right.
But this idea real estate fixes everything, no, it doesn't.
Well, people think it's a quick get rich quick. They think they can get rich quick off of real estate.
Well,
that's why, Dave.
They become so desperate it's their only way out, and it's actually not a way out. It's a way in to the problems. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 45% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info. Thanks for joining us. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you're just listening to the show, trying to piece together what we teach on your own, you can watch 500 YouTubes if you want and try to figure it all out. Or you could just go through, instead of figuring out the individual puzzle pieces, actually go see the whole picture, which is Financial Peace University. And it's all real simple and laid out. And in 9 lessons, you'll have the whole system done and rolling. And you could be done like in 2 years instead of 4 or 5 years wandering around trying to do your own puzzle. It's out there. Dave, all your stuff's out there for free. Honey, my stuff was out there for free before it was mine. It's called common sense. I stole it all from God and your grandmother. I didn't invent any of this. I'm just really good at packaging it and convincing you people to do it. So, Financial Peace University, though, is the proven system that'll help you get going at a faster rate. And you're going to move out of debt. The typical person moves out of debt in 18 to 24 months, not counting their house. Mm-hmm. And that goes through Financial Peace University. So this is everything you need in one place. It's a community of people that love you and hold you accountable and encourage you when you're scared and push you and say, quit trying to do your own plan because your own plan sucks. That's why you're here. You need a new plan, a better plan, a faster plan, a more proven plan. 10 million people have been through Financial Peace University, and the majority are debt-free in less than 2 years. So we're pouring some jet fuel on this whole thing because here's what we're going to do. All of the Ramsey personalities, including the one to my right, Jade Warshaw, is going to be leading you personally through an FPU class. If you want to buy an FPU right now, you can join Ken Coleman's class, Dr. John Deloney's class, Jade Warshaw, Eddie Cullen, and Rachel Cruz's class. Jade and Rachel's class starts on Monday.
Yes.
And we just got a few spots left.
That's right. Sign up. And you have to sign up before Monday. Don't think, I'll sign up later and I'll come.
It'll be gone.
Yeah. Or, a lot of people think if they sign up later, they can attend, maybe starting in the later weeks. But no, it'll close. The signups will close. So sign up and you need this. You need it because what you were doing wasn't working. And I will kick your butt. And I will do it with gusto.
And love. She's sweet.
There's a little bit of love in there, but it's mostly
sweet. She thinks she's mean. Yeah.
It's like a pit bull.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be nice. You'll be nice.
They're sweet and lovable once you get to know them.
There'll be tears, but you'll enjoy them. Yeah. So, no, kidding. Hey, listen, you got to have somebody in your corner going, we love you. We want you to win, and that's us. So go to RamseySolutions.com, sign up for Financial Peace University. You can try FPU.com if you want to sign up in one of these personality classes and join Rachel or Jade's or George's or Coleman's or Deloney's or whatever. Yeah, these classes will all be full, and they're going to be. These guys are having a little competition among themselves, so this could be pretty fun behind the scenes, and we might actually tell you like who's winning or something like that.
Which is why you need to sign up for my class.
Your class. Yeah. Well, you're here, so
That's
there
right.
you go. That's it. That's how this works. So another dumb thing out there, huh?
It's like just when I think we've covered the pinnacle, there's something else out there, guys. And for some reason, Dave, yet again, HELOCs are all the rage. And it's not enough that you can, pull the equity on your home. Now they've turned it into a whole thing. This is called the Avon credit card. But it's not like all the other credit cards, Dave, because those other credit cards, they're bad. They're unsecured debt. Wouldn't it be nice to have one that's secured debt?
Yeah. So when you buy a steak you can't afford at the restaurant, you lose your home.
Oh, there you go.
Because you pledged collateral.
A steak for your home.
A nice trade.
And that's what they're saying. They're saying, wouldn't it be nice to have a credit card that lets you use your home equity to get really low rates? It lets you. This is a privilege, Dave, that we...
It's so sweet of them. They're so service-minded.
And I love that it says you get really, really low rates between 7.99 and 14.99 variable interest. Better than a credit card. Is it?
One of these credit card rating service people called and wanted me to comment on a thing the other day, and our PR team went, did you get a wrong number? Because Dave's credit card has a 0 interest. He doesn't have a credit card. That's the rate on mine.
0 interest.
I have a debit card. That's all I use. I haven't had a credit card since 1988. Because to start with, we filed bankruptcy and they wouldn't give us one. And then later, but we also made the decision we weren't borrowing money ever again for any reason. And we walked around in a non-debit card society for a little while with no credit cards. And that was tough.
I bet it was.
Yeah, I flew to New York and couldn't check into a hotel. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
I no matter how much cash I flashed, they wouldn't let me in. It was crazy. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was a problem. Now you got debit cards, does everything credit card does. So, and except charge you 7.9% interest on your home equity loan. What, have you lost your mind, people?
But you don't think, Dave, that it's worth it to leverage your home for 1.5 unlimited cash back?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Cashback. So let me get this straight. I pay out $100 and I get back $1.50.
Yes. You know what?
I'm going to get rich trading $100 for $1.50.
And that's what needs to be called out.
That's just so much wisdom in that. I mean, everyone knows when you trade $100 for $1.50, you're going to build wealth quickly.
Yeah, it's the idiocy.
It's unlimited.
Unlimited cash back.
The stupidity is unlimited.
And here's the worst part. Here's the worst part. You only need as much as $5,000 equity in your home. And they're willing to give you that on a line of credit on the Avon credit card.
They're just they're just the kindest.
It's your equity.
Kindest crocodiles.
The whole point in buying the home, part of it, was to build wealth. But you're pulling the wealth out. And here's the thing. Y'all didn't see the commercial for this. In the commercial, they're swiping the Avon card for books, in a jewelry store, in a clothing store. That's what they're using their home equity on. That's what people are using this money for. You're trading your freedom and your wealth for shirts,
but
steaks.
You get $1.50 back out of every 100.
I don't want to hear anybody complaining about the state of their finances if anybody is willing to get on board with it. If you're willing to get on board with things like this, don't come complaining and don't come crying to me. This is terrible. And you heard it first here. These are bad, bad, bad ideas, Dave. They're bad. I can't even say it.
But the marketing is so pleasant. Wow. It seems so reasonable.
It calls it a credit card up front, home equity in the back. It's a mullet. It's a money mullet. What does that mean?
All business up front, a party in the back.
Yes. With 14.99 added pain and regret. That's all we need.
It's a financial mullet.
There it is.
It has a new name. It's called Avon.
Yes, the financial mullet for you.
Yes, your financial mullet. $1.50 it's going to cost you. You'll get that back for every 100 you spend. You get $1.50 back. You go in and get your mullet, and they're going to spend $100. They're going to give you $1.50 back in a mullet.
Oh gosh,
I love it.
It's a bad idea.
That's exactly the line. It's exactly the line. A credit card up front, a home equity loan in the back. It's just all business up front and a party in the back.
Oh gosh.
You cannot make this crap up.
You can't.
Ad agencies. Good Lord.
It's just, you can get it in as fast as 15 minutes. Does that make us feel any better?
It just makes me feel better because I've got a long career.
I know, that's right.
As long as stupid's out there, I'm going to be around.
Job security.
Defeating it. This is the Ramsey Show.
Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
Wow. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. So Vic Keller, who's going to be on the Entree Leadership podcast in a few weeks, he's the president of Christensen Arms, just dropped me off a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle. Pretty freaking incredible. So I'm kind of stunned right this second. It's absolutely a work of art. It's an absolutely beautiful rifle. So anyway, back to business here. Back to business. I'm going to come down out of the clouds for a second.
I was going to say,
enjoy the ride. Dennis and Kim are with us on the debt-free stage. Hey, guys, how are you?
Doing great, Dave.
Welcome. Where do y'all live?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Fun. How much debt have you paid off?
$420,000.
How long did this take?
5.5 years.
I love it. And your range of income during that time?
So it was $150,000 all the way up to $300,000.
Whoa! What do y'all do for a living?
So I work in procurement for a clinical research organization.
Cool.
And Dave, I work for a faith-based wealth management firm called Steward Wealth Strategies, where I'm a wealth manager and a Dave Ramsey Smart Investor Pro.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Okay, very cool. So $420,000, great income, great careers. 5.5 years. I'm going to guess and say you might have paid off your house.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What's the house worth?
About $650,000.
Come
Love
on,
it.
somebody.
All right, wealth manager, how much have you got in your nest egg?
Nest egg is right around $550,000.
So young millionaires. How old are you two?
I'm 36.
And just turned 42 yesterday.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, great. Way to go. Very cool. Very cool. How long y'all been married?
5.5 years.
Okay. So there's the story. All right. So what happened? What was the story here?
Yeah, so I'll start. So I'd actually never heard of you, Dave, before meeting Dennis. And thankfully, when we met and started dating, we both really weren't bringing too much debt to the table. He'd been doing your program for a couple of years, and I just had the mortgage on the house that I bought before meeting Dennis. I did ROTC through college. I worked through college, so I got out of school with no student loans, which was huge. And I had never taken out a credit card. I think I was just debt averse to begin with.
Yeah.
But when we got engaged, he was coordinating an FPU class and asked if I would come. And that's what opened up my eyes.
It was love at first checkbook.
That's right.
It opened up my eyes to the fact that even though I wasn't drowning in debt, but I'd never sat down and written down a budget. If you asked me what I was spending every month, I couldn't have told you. So I was just floating. I was getting by with my money, but I wasn't working towards any true goals.
Just your general spirit of being debt averse kept you in the zone of wisdom.
Luckily, I wasn't drowning.
Yeah, very good.
But yeah, so it definitely got us talking and saying, when we get married, this is what we want to do. This is where we want to be. But yeah, Dennis had been on the journey before meeting me.
Yeah. Okay. So Dave, I similar to Kim, worked through college. Had scholarships, so got out with no debt, but then soon became normal early into my career. So living paycheck to paycheck, no emergency fund, just no plan whatsoever. I had 6 credit cards, very popular with them, so that was great.
They liked you.
Oh, they loved me. So maxed those out, but then finally, after years of being on the edge, a friend of mine gave me Total Money Makeover. Within a weekend, I read through it and was just bound and determined that, yep, this is how it's going to, this is the right way to do this. So started doing my budget, actually projected out on a spreadsheet all the baby steps, and even bought a hoopty. So I love my hoopty. But
so now, did y'all buy the house after you got married, or you already had it when you got married?
So I had a house. It was a much smaller house, and then we bought a bigger one. We've got 3 boys, so we did upgrade the house, and that's the one that we just paid off.
Okay. Yep. All right. Very good. So you sold the old one that you had before.
Yep.
Bought a new one, and 5.5 years later paid it off.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Wow. So I have a question. Plenty of people are like, yeah, I got to pay off my debt. Plenty of people might be willing to downgrade their car to pay off their debt. But I mean, you guys were like, we're going all in to pay off our home. What was it? I mean, what was the why behind that made you go, to this extent?
I mean, that was just the plan, and so we figured that right now, while our kids are young, while we have this income, that this is what we're going to focus on, and that was really a challenge of everything that was going on, of folks asking us, hey, why aren't you upgrading your cars? Why aren't you guys upgrading the house? Why aren't you guys going on trips or anything like that? We're like, no, we're just focused. Yeah. This is what we're going to do. We know this is a season, and so that's just what we did.
So people call y'all a couple of nerds.
For sure. And I think to add to that, too, one of our bigger whys has been building this firmer marriage foundation, because we did this from day one of getting married. I mean, to the extent that on our honeymoon, we were driving there. Dennis had me writing out our very first combined monthly budget together. He was that excited to get started. Yeah. It was the height of romance, for sure. So yeah, he was.
You're just
super
a stone cold romantic.
That's
I'm
right.
saying, dude.
But now looking back, I feel like, I'm so thankful that we started off the marriage that way, because it's so good. I recommend it to anybody who's almost getting married, newly married, whatever your circumstances.
Well, you weren't 19.
No.
I mean, you were 32 and 37, right?
Yeah.
Approximately.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
okay.
wow.
Yeah, wow. Amazing. That's so funny. So now, I guess when you're meeting with clients now, it's a completely different conversation, isn't it? It's like, hey, I'm 42. I got a net worth of over $1 million. Got a paid-for house. I've been married 5 years.
Yep.
And all you got to do is follow the stuff.
Exactly. And that's what we tell folks to do, is to follow the baby steps. And so that's what we do. So, it's absolutely, it's a great feeling.
So, Kim, around the company, when you're doing procurement and you're interacting with your leadership team and so forth, someone says, how'd you do that? What do you tell them the key to getting out of debt is?
Oh, man. I do think it is around, he has the more tactical answers, because he is definitely the numbers guy. He's, I guess, the nerd of your system. But I think for me, it was finding that why that's bigger than just me. And, we had 3 kids that added to the mix along the way. They were huge drivers for us. We really want them to see that, when we say God is first in our lives, they're seeing that live out in how we spend our money also. Now we're in a position where we can be outrageously generous, like you talk about. So, we're hoping they're going to witness that growing up, and it's going to ultimately impact their eternities too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Very cool.
Well done. You don't have a payment in the world.
Nope.
How's that feel?
Hasn't sunk in yet.
Tomorrow is when the mortgage payment was supposed to go out, and so we don't know exactly how it feels yet. So, so literally, we're fresh.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So
you already sent it, but it
correct.
hadn't gotten the stuff back yet.
Correct.
Tomorrow would have been the first. This is the first month of freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
Now I understand. Yep. Okay. Wow.
It's exciting, man. Whew. Love it.
Yeah. So what's the first big thing y'all want to do now that you're free?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things we've been putting off. We both drive 12-plus-year-old cars.
You need a car.
We squeezed all 3 car seats into the back.
Yeah, you need a car. You're
We're going to
millionaires.
upgrade
You need
some
a car.
cars. We've got, an unfinished basement and 3 boys, so that's going to be a worthy investment to finish out the basement. So things we're excited about, but
you'll knock both those things out in a heartbeat.
I know. Now we can cash flow everything
by Christmas.
forward.
So on the way to the honeymoon, you had to write down the budget. Now on the way home from here, you get to write down all the things that you want to do.
He already said that. He's like, the plane ride home, we're going to be doing the budget.
Yes!
We're doing the budget. We're doing the goals. Yeah.
What comes first, the car or the basement? Yeah.
Or
Mama
minivan.
gets a car, then we do
That's
the basement,
the debate
then
right
Daddy
now
gets a
is
car.
minivan or SUV. He's team minivan, but
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting.
All right. I think she gets to pick her car.
there we go, Dave.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, she can pick hers, and then he can pick his.
There
you go.
This is fair.
There
this
you
is
go.
Fair. Yeah. Team minivan. Right up there with Rachel Cruz. I love it. All right, guys. Hey, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. You've already done that. You can hand it to a client. Total Money Makeover. You already done that. You can hand it to a client. And Financial Peace University. You've already done that. And you can hand it to a client. Or you can go back through all of them again. It's the Live and Give box. It's just for you to say thank you for coming out. Dennis and Kim, Raleigh, North Carolina, $420,000 paid off 5.5 years. 5.5 years of marriage, making $150 to $300, 100% debt-free, house and everything. Baby Steps Millionaires. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're
debt-free! Yeah! All right! Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, baby!
Love that.
This is how it's done, boys and girls. Whew. This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Mike is in Mississippi. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, Dave. Hey, Jade. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for taking this call.
Sure. How can we help?
I've got an opportunity that I think is a sweet deal, but I'm wanting to get a gut check on if I'm missing something or just not seeing something. But I want to give you a little bit of background. I went to Entree Leadership back in September. I hit Baby Step 7 in August, and I also teach Financial Peace now. So fully aware of where I am and everything that God's given me. So
very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. I've got I'm self-employed. I'm a town architect, which is basically I work in developments and communities to design and build them up.
Yeah.
I don't do the building personally. I just work with the owners and the builders to get them where they need to be. And for the last 2 years, I've been working with an owner to really push this neighborhood and community forward. And I've had projects all along the way that I've gotten paid for, but I've also done a lot of sweat equity in tons of meetings and just going with the owner to see places and do things and never sending an invoice. I've got a guy on the owner team who has kind of recognized that. And we were talking, I had a meeting yesterday. I'm between meetings, and that's why I'm calling you. I had a meeting yesterday with him, and I have another meeting next week. We talked yesterday about he would like, and I would like, to move my architect office to the neighborhood. The next slated thing to do in the neighborhood is a series of cottages that are 1,000 to 1,250 square feet, and my office would fit. I'm a small office, so it would fit right in there with it, and I would be part of the neighborhood. They kind of like that, having their town architect part of the neighborhood. I kind of like it too. So we got to talking, how do we get this done and how do we make it happen? And I told him, I said, well, I don't do anything with debt, so we really have to figure this out. So my numbers. I've got about $100,000 in retained earnings. I've got $75,000 as a savings. Me and my wife actually jumped back to 3B, and I've got $75,000 for a future home. You
don't own a home.
Just my office.
You don't own a home?
Hello?
You don't own a home?
No, I do own a home.
Oh,
I just have
an upgrade home in the future.
Yeah, so we're saving for an upgrade home in the future. This is just a cottage that will be my office, but it will actually be a cottage that.
Okay, so what's the deal?
Sell.
What's the deal?
So the deal is, we talked about him giving me the lot for $1. I pay $1 for the lot, and I would be about half in on the construction of the home. They would actually pay the builder fees and all that stuff for the rest of it. So I might be about $60,000 to $70,000 out of my pocket. I told him that sounded really good. I've got a mixed-use building that I did for them.
They're going to give you everything but $60,000.
Yeah.
And you've got $175,000.
Where's the problem?
Yeah. You're just going to pay cash for the $60,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what's the downside?
All of that is my retained earnings.
What's the cottage going to be worth when it's done?
I would guess that when it's done, about $200,000.
Okay. So you come up with $60,000 and you have a $200,000 asset.
Ding ding.
Ding ding. No brainer. Do it. And you have the cash.
I would own it.
You have the cash.
Yeah.
And it's all in your name.
Yeah.
No partnership.
Yeah,
no debt.
Yeah, I made that part of the stipulation.
Yeah. No debt, no partnership, no nothing. They're just giving you a really nice gift of their sweat equity in return, in recognition of you've done a bunch of work you didn't get paid for.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's great.
Do it.
Okay.
Even if you sell it later. I mean, but you have $175,000. Use some of that. Buy this thing.
Here's actually how I'm going to pay for it. I did a mixed-use building for the owner, and about halfway through, we were estimating $5.5 million for the thing, and I'd get a percentage fee. Well, price increases and everything over the last year. That was a year ago. It's now at $9 million. And so I'm pushing them also a stipulation. I would do this if they go ahead forward and finish the last half of the drawings and get it to go under construction, at which case my fee jumps, and I just pay for this out of the fee jump.
Well, there you go. This is there's nothing wrong
either
with
way,
it.
he's paying cash.
Yeah, I think you've got this from 6 different angles beat down. This thing's beat down to nothing. Absolutely, you have to do it. Yes. There's nothing wrong with it.
Make sure all the paperwork and contracts and everything is in writing exactly the way
Make sure
that you've...
the deal is laid out in detail, and that you walk away with clean title, and you don't walk away with something that is in perpetuation, that you owe these people a percentage of the equity or something crap back or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a clean deal. Very clean.
Exciting.
Chop.
Good job.
Very well done. Very well done. Lisa is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My question involves baby step 4. My husband and I, we've got a sophomore in high school, and we've got about $25,000 already in a 529 for her. So we recognize we're a little behind.
Baby step 5 is kids' college. Okay. All right.
Oh, 5. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
That's okay. Just making sure I understood what you're doing. Okay.
Yes, 5. I'm going to be receiving some money soon for being an executor of a family member's estate. And after tithing, taxes, and finishing out baby step 3, which would be about $10,000 for baby step 3, we're going to have about $15,000 remaining. And my question is, with only 2 years left to go before college, should we put some of that in the 529, or is it best just to put it in the high yield savings account?
Nah, just dump it in that 529. It's fine. It's in good mutual funds, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Just dump it in there. And then plan on trying to cash flow the first year or something and leave that alone, let it ride.
True. Well, and we have another child that is currently in college, and I think with that one is going to be cash flow with our 529 for that child, and I think there might be a little left over because she plans to graduate early. So
that's great. Yeah, I would do the same thing.
I hate it when that happens.
I know. Isn't that awful?
Very good. Good job. Hey, listen, let me tell you what you're doing that's very smart, that 98% of Americans do not do. You are doing your kids' college intentionally. Mm-hmm. You actually thought about it. It didn't happen to you guys. You happened to it. You were proactive.
Yeah. You clearly chose colleges that were affordable, that were within means of your family to pay cash for or save up to pay for. And that's right there. That right there is half the battle. Plenty of people don't do that. So the fact that you're being wise about that and you're able to send your kids to college, probably, paying cash for it is incredible.
Yeah, be encouraged.
Well done.
You are weird in a good way.
Well, thank you.
The good kind of weird. Very
that's
good.
Right.
Very, very well done. So, we used to say years ago, 98% of the people that you interview say it's important to save for college, and 2% of the people do it.
Yeah, everybody says it's important. It always comes to the doing. That's the hard part.
The doing.
Everybody says, this is important. You should do it. Yes, we know this is important. But when the rubber meets the road, few people actually do what it takes to take that money aside. I mean, she's receiving this money. How many people would have just blown it? $15K, I need a new car.
Or bought something for $30,000.
Yeah.
Put 15 down on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or said, well, I've got this. This allows me to take out less student loans.
And then my children were forced to take out student loans because we bought Daddy a pickup.
Forced.
That's the crap that people do right there.
That's the language. I was forced into it.
Forced.
I didn't have a choice.
Like they had a gun and duct tape.
Yeah. When people say I didn't have a choice.
You weren't forced. You just straight up chose stupid. Mm-hmm. You just chose it. Said, I love stupid. I'm going to embrace it.
That's right.
I did it. I know what it looks like.
Yep.
Like stupid is your best friend or something. Oh, my God. Yeah, you weren't forced to do anything.
Choices over time.
You create drama to justify your stupidity. I know because I have a drama queen that lives in me, too. So this is how this works.
What do you call her, Dave?
Daveline. Yes. This is the Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Maggie starts this hour off in Seattle. Hey, Maggie, how are you?
I'm great, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm currently a junior in high school. I am enrolled in a program at my local community college that will allow me to graduate high school with my high school diploma as well as my associate's degree, and I'm not paying tuition for it because I'm still in high school. So I've been able to pay for my first 2 years of college with cash, just going through it. I work as much as I can. And so
that dumb girl, you're a genius.
Yeah, it's a pretty great program. I'm really happy.
Who taught you to do this? How'd you figure this out?
Well, I'm not sure. They just told me there was a program, and they said I didn't have to pay tuition, and so
Who's
they
they?
signed me up.
Who's they? The college?
Well, my high school really recommends it because I teach a smaller cooperative. Yeah, so they recommend doing it so you're not paying tuition. So, yeah, it's a great deal to have that. And, it's really just cost of books or whatever. So
and you were smart enough to take that deal. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. So my dream for the future and a career would really to be owning my own LLC in the trades. I love the trades. I love working with my hands. I love kind of the job security, and I love entrepreneurship. My dad himself owns a small business, and so I've seen the ups and downs, and it's a path that I think I would really like to take.
When you say the trades, what do you mean?
Ideally construction. My dad does a trade of very specifically, so I think I do more broad construction, potentially maybe roofing, just something that is a constant need, at least until robots replace us. But as far as I'm concerned for now, I just would really like to do potentially construction or roofing. And that's a pretty big hit in my small town in Washington. So that's something I'd like to pursue. And so because of that, my dad, doing his trade, he has lots of colleagues that have done and very, very, very successful businessmen. And so my biggest question for you is I'm at that age where I have to start preparing and kind of signing up for college and doing all of that. And college is just kind of something I figured I would do until I got older and I started understanding finances and I started understanding how detrimental debt can be. And I just really, it's been weighing on me as that's not where I want to be. And I have some family members who did the college route and, they are quite a bit in debt. And I don't know. I just don't want that to be me.
We only like 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. But the problem is that they tell you it's going to be 2 years and then you go to sign up for it and then they require a bunch of other classes.
Well, no, you know what it is. You know what it is going in.
Transferred in.
Yeah.
Have you actually gone and had that experience?
To a university?
Yeah, like looked at your associates and it won't cover the first 2 years?
It does, but the problem is I'm just getting like a general transfer, which means that if I go, so specifically there's a local university that I would really like to look at their business administration and entrepreneurship program, and they require a bunch of prereqs. So you have to satisfy the pre-major in order to declare that as your major, and some of those classes the community college doesn't offer. So I would have to go take that year, so it really wouldn't be 2 years.
It'd be 3.
So go to a different school that doesn't have all those requirements.
Okay.
Why are you trapped? You're not trapped.
I think you need to do a little more research to see what institutions will accept your community college classes.
And start you out in your junior year and find a place that's inexpensive and you can pay cash for 2 more years. And good Lord, you're going to be a whole 19 years old when you graduate from college.
Yeah, don't not go to college because you're afraid of debt, because there's ways to go to college without debt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I kind of I heard you saying that, and I don't want you to make that choice based on fear. I want you to make that choice based on if you would like to go to college, you can go to college and work and pay for it if you choose the right school. Does that make sense?
Yeah, let's roll back just a second, okay? You've got an associate's degree not because you agreed to go to a school that allowed you to do that, right? Mm-hmm. You
Correct.
Could have chosen another school and you would have put in the same amount of time and not come out with an associate's degree. But you conceded that this school allowed me to have this situation. So I want you to concede again and find a school that allows you to graduate in just 2 more years with a simple business degree or a marketing degree or whatever, something like that. And here's why. Okay, here's the reason I'm pushing this. It's not because all education is good and all education is necessary. It's not. But you said to me you want to run a business. All right, now here's what happens in the trades. We work in entree leadership with tradesmen of all kinds, roofers, heat and air people, builders, general contractors, remodelers. We get thousands of these guys I've worked with. I grew up in the building business. My parents were in the building business. So I know the business. Here's what happens. You get a guy, or in your case, a gal, who knows a trade. Let's say you know how to put on a roof and you know how to run a roofing crew. And so you're a good roofer. But that enables you to put on roofs.
Right.
That does not enable you to run a business.
There it is.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Running a business is a different skill and knowledge base than putting on a roof. The business happens to be putting on roofs. But what happens is a guy's he works for a heating and air company for 5 or 6 years, and then he says, hey, I've got all my licenses. I know how to fix any kind of heating and air. I can just go open up my own heating and air thing, which is true. He can and probably should go do that. But then he grows the business and has 6 people working for him. Now he has this leadership issues.
Right.
Now he has accounting issues. Now he has marketing issues. Now he has administrative issues and licensing issues. And none of that has anything to do with fixing a heat and air. Right?
Right.
But it has to do with running a business. So as bright as you are and as much of a head start as you got, I would say get a basic business degree that puts those tools to run the business in your business tool belt. And then you also know how to do roofing if that's the side you're going to go into, and you're managing a roofing crew and you know about roofs and you know about the different applications, whether it's commercial application with a flat roof and rubber or whether it's asphalt shingle on a residential or whatever. I mean, you know, you're going to learn all of these things that are specific to that trade, but the trade is different than running a business.
That is so Dave, you hit the nail on the head. Ooh. See what I did there?
I saw what you did.
Oh, you hit the nail. You really did hit the nail on the head, because it happens all the time. You get in contact with these guys and you're like, can you come do the work for me? And it's like all of the business stuff surrounding it, it just falls to pieces.
Yeah.
You know,
just because you can cut hair doesn't mean you need to own a salon.
The billing, the correspondence.
Just because you can cook doesn't mean you need to run a restaurant.
I know, that's right. But Maggie is cool. Maggie is smart.
Maggie is amazing.
Yeah, she's a good one.
You do know the roofing nail is a particularly large head that you hit. The
is that
nail
what it is?
on the head. Yeah. This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Well, it's here.
It's here, Dave. One of my favorite things to do is give away your money. Did you know that?
It's a spiritual gift you have.
That's right. I'm super excited to tell our listeners that we're giving away $500 every week with a grand prize of $3,000 in May. This is our Ramsey Cash giveaway.
This is fun.
Wow.
And no purchase necessary. Got to be 18. And you can enter up to once a day. If you enter more than that, the computer throws you out. So give it a shot, though. Come to RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. And while you're there, celebrate the $10 special with us. That means that all of our number 1 best-selling books and number 2 best-selling books are on sale for $10.
Oh,
yeah?
$10 holla.
Yeah, that's it, man. So Dr. John Deloney's Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Ken Coleman's Paycheck to Purpose. My latest, Baby Steps Millionaires. Of course, Total Money Makeover. $10 each. That means you get like 10 books for $100.
Wow.
Deal.
We are giving your money away.
A deal. It's a deal. It's a serious deal. $10 sale does not last forever. This is the month of May with a $500 giveaway every week and a $3,000 grand prize at the end. No purchase is necessary. Check out the $10 sale at RamseySolutions.com. By the way, a reminder that Mike Rowe is in the house.
Wow.
And he and I will be doing an event tonight at the Ramsey Live Event Center on the hill right behind me. America's Labor Crisis, with 5 of the leading experts on what is going on with work in America today. It's a completely free live stream here on Star Wars Day, May the 4th. Be with you. And so go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the live stream and watch it with us tonight. We would love to have you. We'll have about 1,000 of our closest friends in our audience there hanging out with us and watching this. And Mike is just brilliant, and as are these 5 folks we've got coming on. And I'm just honored to be a wiener in a steakhouse. It's going to be amazing. So let's get with it. RamseySolutions.com and America's Labor Crisis. If you are struggling with the philosophy of work in America today, you're trying to hire people right now, you're running running a business, you know what you're up against. It's the hardest, toughest labor market we've ever been in the history of America right now. Really. Wow. This is pretty amazing. So we actually have a negative unemployment rate, 4,000 people a month quitting their jobs.
Sheesh.
It's crazy out there. So we're going to talk about it and talk about some solutions for you business folk, you leadership folk out there. So join us again, RamseySolutions.com, America's Labor Crisis Tonight. The question of the day is sponsored by Neighborly, your hub for home services. If you own rental properties, Neighborly's local real property management offices can help you manage them and optimize your ROI and your peace of mind. Go to neighborly.com to schedule a consultation with real property management pros near you.
All right. Today's question comes from Sarah in Maryland. She says, my husband and I will open a new business soon, and this is our very first restaurant. We've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time, and once we open, we plan to divide our focus with my husband focusing on our next goal of opening a second business, and I will then focus on our family goals of having a kid and buying a house. Will this plan work, or should we wait for the second business to be open first to have a kid and buy a house? Lord. All right. There's a lot going on here. I'm going to warn you, Sarah. I'm going to give you some good advice, and I hope you don't mistake it for dream crushing, because that's not what I'm going for here. I think that you've got a lot of major things that you're trying to focus on. These are you're starting a business. It doesn't say here, Dave, if these are cash businesses, but something tells me they're probably not. And that scares me. I think you guys need to pick one thing to focus on. Now, here comes a little bit of dream crushing. You've just opened this restaurant business. And I don't want to say this, but 60% of restaurants fail in the first year. So let's not open a second business yet. And that's why. That's one of the many reasons why. And 80% fail in 5 years. So I want to put those stats out there. You probably already know that, but I wanted to let you know that. And then you're talking about a house. You're talking about kids. I don't know if you have debt or not. It doesn't tell us here, but you are trying to float a lot of boats right now in a bathtub, and it is not working. So I think you need to focus. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. It's so much to juggle. Yeah, do one thing. And if owning a business has always been your dream, there's a right way to do that. All right. And I'm going to walk you through what I think, if it were Jade, what the steps would be to doing that. If you guys have got, number one, I want you to do the business in cash. When it comes to restaurants, that's going to be very difficult, but you can do it. And it's probably going to start with you getting your personal finances in line first so that you can do this. And so if you have any debt, you're going to need to pay off that debt. I'd want you to walk through our baby steps, which, we'll put the information there on the screen for the baby steps. You can go to RamseySolutions.com and get that information. That's thing one, getting your personal finances in place. Because for most of us, if we want to start our own business, we think, oh, it's business money. No, it's your personal money. It takes your personal money to start a business. There's no magical cloud of business money that appears when it's time to start a business. So that's thing one, get your money under control. And then if starting a restaurant is what you want to do, you've got to get a plan in action for how you're going to do that in cash. Now, in the midst of that, if you have kids, all of that, having the kids is not the problem. Buying a home, that might present a problem because that's expensive. We got to save for a down payment for that. So it's really going to be you guys deciding if you're going to get on a plan, if you're going to use our plan, because the way our plan is going to do it, you're going to have to go through these baby steps, baby, in order to do it. So that's how that works.
You're going to increase your probability of failure 10x by trying to do 73 things at once. You're going to suck at all of them because you're not going to be paying enough attention to them. This is an ADD plan right here. Squirrel!
Yeah.
And so you got to just, restaurant business is hard.
Yeah.
Hard work, long hours.
So much
physically
work.
Draining. Focus on the restaurant business. Get it up and running. Nothing else. It's going to take all you got. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to leave it all on the field to get that restaurant profitable and get it running. If you don't want to run a restaurant, then sell it. Get it up and running and sell it. But don't open a second business. I run one business. Other guys that have my net worth put money in all these other venture capital deals. Dave, you need to buy into this. You need to buy into that. You need to buy into this. And if I did that, I would have my eyes on all of those things instead of on Ramsey, and Ramsey would not be here. Mm-hmm. The reason Ramsey's here is I do one thing.
That's right.
Dave, you're a one-trick pony. Yep. And I'm an expert trick pony.
Okay, specialist.
Because I don't do nothing else. Complete laser focus.
That's so important.
Light that is focused will do surgery, cut metal. When it's dispersed, it simply lights a room.
Come on, that's so good.
So, focus. Then have your babies. Get you a house later. And if you want a second business, sell the restaurant before you open the second one.
What you said, Dave, is a good point. I think that, and this is not an insult, this is just the truth. Few people can do
one thing.
Yeah. Well.
Almost no one.
Almost no one.
That's why we all stand back and go, wow, that guy's successful. That woman's successful. Because they do one thing well.
And anything more is you're a unicorn, right? And there's very, 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 very few of those. Those are very rare. Now,
they don't exist.
I'm just a wiener in a steakhouse. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I had to use that again,
It's a
Dave.
great line.
That was wonderful.
It's a classic line. Yeah, seriously, you've got a lot of energy, honey, and you're a sharp young woman. And sometimes the best thing you can do is be just a little bit dumber, so that all you can do is do one thing.
Yep.
Thank God I'm not smart enough to do 63 things, because I probably wouldn't have not got any of them done. It requires children, and restaurants require all of your energy. This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personalities. My co-host, Julie, is with us in Springfield, Missouri. Hi, Julie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So we sold our house back in August, and we are still sitting on the money that we got back from it. So my question is, should we throw all that money towards debt? And could we use part of it as a down payment for a house, or should we put it all onto debt?
How much money do you have?
$17,000.
And how much debt do you have?
$23,700.
And what's your household income?
It actually just increased. It went from 50, and we're around 90 now.
Good for you. Okay.
Thank you.
And where are you living now?
We are actually in a camper. We bought a used fifth wheel whenever we sold our house. So we're going a little crazy. We have 2 kids and 2 dogs in a 40-foot camper. So
how old are you?
Yeah. I'm 28. And my husband's 32.
Why'd you sell your house?
I don't have a good reason. The market was good. We knew we'd get a chunk back. That's honestly it.
Okay. $17K from the home sale. 23.7 in debt. Are you currently working the snowball? Have you started paying off other debts yet?
We haven't, no.
Okay. Do you have $1,000 saved?
We do. Yeah.
Okay,
so $23,000.
That's
saved.
true. So we'll start with $1,000 saved. I guess what I'm looking for, I want to make sure that you're committed to a process going forward. Okay. Because it's going to take you being committed to this process, or else you're going to go, she told me to take this money and pay off my debt, and then you're going to feel like you were up a creek. So you've got to
rent a house. Go rent a house.
Rent a house. Okay.
Yeah. Sell the camper and pay off your debt.
Okay.
And pay off your debt by Christmas. Pay off your debt by Christmas.
Okay.
And then build an emergency fund and then build a down payment and buy another house.
Okay, and with our pay range, what would you suggest, for the amount of house we should get?
So we've got a calculator that's located on our site, but the parameters there is we never want the payment, your monthly payment, to be any more than 25% of your take-home pay. And that's everything all in. That's taxes, insurance, HOA fees, everything. And then when you go to buy the house, you want it to be on a 15-year fixed rate conventional mortgage. That's what you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
So here's the thing. Here's what it's going to feel like, Julie. Number one, you're going to get your sanity back this week. Go find a rental house.
Okay.
Something reasonable, because you're going to be there for a year, maybe a year and a half. So get something reasonable.
Okay, and then sell the camper?
The camper. What will the camper bring?
Okay. We bought it used for $20. I'm assuming we could only get about like $17 out of it.
Okay, so now if you take that $17 and your other $17, you're debt free.
Yes.
Then you're going to build up 3 to 6 months of expenses. So you're going to be sitting on another $15,000 cash is your next goal. Okay.
Okay.
But you're going to be there pretty quick. You may be there by Christmas. Now that I got the camper sold, I forgot about how much it was going to bring. Okay. So we're dealing with 34. You're dealing with $9,000 in your savings account after you sell the camper and pay off 17.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. You're dealing with you're gonna have your emergency fund.
Pretty close.
Yeah. Well, no. 34. No, you're gonna have 9,000 in there. So yeah, you got to go and you got to put another 6,000 in by Christmas. And here's the thing, you got to breathe this in for a second. You're living in a nice rental home, not super expensive because we don't want to spend too much. Okay, but a whole lot better in your situation today. Okay, there's a little bit of physical room for your family to relax. And
yes,
have
and I do.
And have a little bit of. Wait. Let me breathe this in. I want you to get this picture. The kids are calm. There's a little physical privacy and space. There's $15,000 cash in the bank. You don't have a payment in the world. That feels pretty darn good.
Yes, for sure.
Now we save up a big down payment. We buy a house in the next 2 years. And you're doing that from a position of strength, not desperation and frantic, I got to get out of this camper!
Yeah, that's exactly where I am right now.
Yeah, I hear you. I would be too. So does that make sense?
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Yes, no,
it's called financial peace. If you work the system, that's what you get.
That's right. Got to be committed to it. Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah, there's a process here. So Jade was exactly right. You got to lay a process in there, step-by-step game plan to attack this. Renting is not a sin, folks. It's patience while you get your crap together.
That's right.
And that's what we laid out here.
Mm-hmm. My husband and I, we rented for 10 years while we paid off our debt.
Well, you paid off $465,000 in debt.
That's right. But we understood what was on the end of it, which is why I say when you go into these things, understand it's a plan. It's something for the long haul. And you've got to understand that going in. Otherwise, midway through, you'll bail on it.
Absolutely. Bev is in San Antonio. Hey, Bev, what's up?
Well, hi, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My question is I want to know, how do I preserve my money and have it grow? Because I worry about the money lasting me for the rest of my life. I'm 72. I don't owe any money to anything, but my income is not great.
So how much of a nest egg do you have?
What I have is I've got I have $823,000.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Well, I know about.
So, Bev, how much is your house worth?
My house is worth about $400,000.
And it's paid for?
It is.
Have you stopped and thought about the fact that you're a millionaire?
I have.
That's pretty dadgum cool.
My income.
I know. So if your $83,000 was making 10%, that'd be $80,000 a year. What do you got your $800,000 invested in?
I have it with a professional person that's managing it for.
Yeah. How
me.
much income is it throwing off?
Well, this is my problem. In the last year and a half, 2 years, I've just been watching it shrink.
No, it didn't.
And it's gone down.
No, it didn't.
Well, my money.
It shouldn't have shrunk because the market's even year over year. In the last 12 months, the stock market is very, very slightly up. 12 months ago today.
Okay, well, my problem is that I've got a SEP IRA, I've got a Roth, and I've got a savings account.
What's it invested in?
In mutual funds with a professional person.
Yeah, I know. But you're the professional person. You're the one with $800,000. So I want you to go sit down with them again and give them one chance to be a teacher. Because I don't want to hear a professional person. Next time I talk to you, I want to know what your money's invested in, and you can't even tell me.
No, just mutual funds.
Yeah, and you got fear around this because you don't understand it.
I do. Right.
Yeah, you need to understand what's going on with your money. And if your investment professional can't grow a teacher bone, you need to fire them and get one that has a teacher bone. Because you are in charge of $800,000. Because if you were getting 10% off that, you get $80,000 a year. And I bet you could live on that.
Mm-hmm. What are you drawing off of it now, Bev?
I'm not drawing anything. I'm living on just my Social Security and a little annuity. I'm living on, per year, $33,000 a year.
Why?
Is that by choice?
That is because I'm afraid to take any money out. I had to take out my required withdrawal. So I just took
So let me
that
ask you,
out
how, if you were going to guess, based on your family history, how long does Bev live?
I'm going to guess well into my 90s.
Okay, so we got 20 years.
Uh-huh.
Okay, divide 800 by 20. Even if you don't make any money on it, you're not going to go out of it.
Mm-mm.
No, okay. I just needed to hear this from somebody like you.
Yeah, you need to be drawing more off, but you also need to understand more of it because you don't have peace around it. And if you can't get this person to get you a little base of knowledge where you feel more comfortable about knowing what's going on with your stuff, then you need to sit down with someone new and check SmartVestor Pro at RamseySolutions.com. They don't work for us, but they're the people with the heart of a teacher. They got a teacher bone, and they'll help you with this. That's what's missing here. You got plenty of money, girl. You're going to be okay. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, James 1:22, be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. Yoda? We're quoting Yoda?
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm like, why am I quoting do or do not? There is no try.
Can you do it with the voice?
No. Can you?
Don't ask me to try.
Can you do? I don't even know what Yoda's voice.
It's weird. It's like do or do. I don't know.
It's like an old person's voice. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to try.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I did. You asked me to try, so I thought it was fair.
True. That's true.
It's a fair trade.
I embarrassed myself though.
Yoda, may the 4th be with you. Okay, I'm catching.
It does sound like something you would say.
It's not like something I would say.
No, it does sound like something.
It does sound like something. Do or not do, there is no try.
No, you would do it in your...
That's about as good as I can get.
Your yelling voice. Do or do not. Don't try.
Yeah, the Dave Ramsey rant voice. Yeah, there we go. That's good. I like that. Garrett's with us. Garrett's in Kansas City. Hi, Garrett. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for giving me the time. My dad actually, when I was living in California, he said, hey, Garrett, you need to listen to this. I know you drive a lot. And he sent me a Dave Ramsey car CD set. And I was like, oh, my God, my dad's nuts. I'm sorry. My dad's nuts. And yet I put that in there. And since 2007, I have been debt-free.
Okay.
It was a hard, it was like, as soon as I listened to your disc, I just like, man, this guy knows what he's talking about,
Okay.
And so I have been driving. I have a Porsche. I had a BMW. I've had everything. And the day that I was told, if you can't afford it, you don't deserve it. Is it a want or is it a need? And that day that I read that, I realized it doesn't matter what kind of car or what I want or what I need. It's what it has to happen. And you opened my eyes, and the reason I'm calling you is because I have followed your steps since like 2002. I'm debt free, no credit card debt, all that bull stuff. But I'm looking at buying a rental property. I've never owned anything. I have actually rented my whole life.
Are you an over-the-road truck driver?
No.
Okay. Why do you not own a house?
Because I've been a nomad. I just move. I move with the times. I move with the money.
Well, you don't need to own a rental house then.
What?
You don't need to own a rental house then.
Well, I'm actually looking to plant seeds.
Then buy a house to live in.
Not rent it, like a duplex.
If you want to buy a duplex, that's okay, but live in part of it.
Okay, so that's why I called. I wanted to ask you, in this market, would you invest in a home or a rental property?
A home.
A home. Do you know why he's saying that?
Yes, I would love you to tell me.
Because you need to be, number one, you've never owned anything. So, and you said that by your own admission that you're a nomad. We would want you to.
I've never owned a home. I've never owned a home. I've owned a lot of cars. I've owned a lot of motorcycles.
It's not the same. A home is the biggest investment you're going to have.
Yeah, so you need to just put down roots and get your house. It's time. It's the next stage in your personal growth.
And you don't need to spend a whole lot of money on it.
Yeah, just get you a place to live in and then keep earning money. Make sure that gets paid off. When that's paid off, if you want to buy a rental, save up and pay cash for the rental.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I would not tell someone to buy a rental property before they bought a personal residence and paid it off.
Mm-hmm.
I would first do that because that lays down a foundation for your overall financial plan, more than rental property does.
And you learn what home ownership looks like. You understand the repairs. You understand all of those things.
All the crap it's going to break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
What it feels like to feel the payment when your rental doesn't pay it.
Exactly.
When your renter doesn't pay it.
Scott's with us in San Antonio. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Doing good. I appreciate that.
Sure. How can we help?
So right now I'm in kind of a financial decision right here regarding my car repair that I still owe $2,500 left on my vehicle, and now I got news that my transmission is shot, and the repair for it is going to be $3,600. That's my only vehicle, and so I don't have the funds to pay for the repair.
How much do you make a year?
I make $48,000.
Okay, where's all your money gone?
I go to rent and then just the car payment and groceries and insurance. Yeah, pretty much it.
You married?
Yes.
How many kids you got?
None.
She work outside the home?
Just little small gigs.
Why?
My wife is under workers' comp.
Why? Is she injured?
Yes.
What happened?
It was an injury at a daycare as a hurt her back, and so she's getting treatment for that.
So there's other kinds of work she could do.
A little bit, yeah.
No, there's a lot that don't involve your back. Like a myriad of things. Okay, so when you get your income up, you guys are starving to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're disorganized, and this stuff is all happening to you instead of you happening to it. I've been there. It is a desperate but feeling. I can hear the fear down under your voice. And because I was the same way, man. I know exactly how you feel. This is not fun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're facing this. So here's the thing. Your car is a piece of crap, and I wouldn't spend $3,600 to fix it because when you get done, the whole stupid thing's not worth that. Am I wrong?
No, you're pretty much right. I mean, it's a decent vehicle, but
So what I would do, can you scrape up $1,000?
Yes.
Real fast. Go get you a garage. Go get you a garage sale car to get back to work. And she's got to go to work, dude. She needs to go get a job. And it's not something with her back. I'm not saying she's lazy, but she's been through this trauma of this workers' comp thing, and the people in that world tell her to sit on her butt, and you guys need her to make $20,000 a year because it'll change your life.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then you're going to pay off the $2,500, and by Christmas you're going to buy a $5,000 car and pay cash because you're going to be on a really tight budget, living on nothing, and no more eating out. You're broke people.
Definitely.
Am I missing something?
No, that's pretty clear cut. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So here's the thing.
We can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to help you. Jade and I are going to help you. Okay, we're going to put you into our 9-week class, Financial Peace University. It's going to cost you nothing except a promise that you, by God, go change your life and you do everything I tell you to do. Because if you'll do this stuff, dude, in 15 years you're going to be a millionaire. I promise you. But it'll take 15 years, and the next year is going to be a pain in the butt for you. But you're going to be on top of the world compared to where you are right now, because you guys have been living from crisis to crisis to crisis to crisis, bullcrap to bullcrap to bullcrap since you've been an adult. Am I missing something?
No, yeah, it's clear cut.
I was the same way, man. I was exactly the same way. So I can hear it.
Oh, yeah.
I can smell it on you.
Hey, get in my class.
Yeah.
Hey, she's going to be leading a class. You want to get in her class?
Get in my class. We start Monday.
I'm cool.
Let's do it.
You and your wife, I'm going to pay for it. It's going to cost you nothing, okay? You promise you'll do it if I give it to you free?
We're open. We'll listen.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Hang on. Get you a $1,000 car, and then we're going to pay off this stupid car and sell it to the junkyard for $2,500. It ain't even worth $2,500, especially the transmission out of the dumb thing. And then as soon as you get all on top of this, and we're going to move you up out of a $1,000 car into a $5,000 car and pay cash, and then we're going to make sure you're debt-free, and you have an emergency fund in place, and you guys are going to be working all the time because you need $35,000 or $40,000 will completely change your whole life. And that's all it takes. That's amazing. That's not much. You can do this. You totally can do this. Hey, hang on. We'll get you signed up for free, man. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.